Very long, almost 6-month journey, traveling from Independence, Missouri to Oregon City in Oregon. These pioneers did a fabulous job. I am Rusty Miller, the trail boss, Western Wagon Train. They would like to tell you the story of their journey in their own words. And so in order to do that, we're going to let them come up by families and tell the story of our journey and some of the things that may have happened to them. So, start off, let's welcome the Clark family.
Howdy, my name is Walter Clark. I am the pa of the Clark family and I'm 36 years old. I was elected captain of this walking train at our first meeting before leaving in Independence, Missouri. I am a carpenter, which I think will come in handy in Oregon. My wife is Lucy Clark. She has the care for the children, and she is 35 years old. My son, Henry, is 15 years old, and Caroline, my daughter, is 12 years old. Being a captain is very hard. First, I have to wake up early to wake everybody else up. Second, I'm the one who has to run up ahead and make sure the trail is safe for everyone. I work hard to make sure everyone is safe in our wagon train. We are going to Oregon because we want to get some of that free land. We are hoping to find some nice land where we will get to build our new house.
Let's fix that. Hold on. Be careful to step all the way over.
Hi, I'm Caroline Clark and I'm 12 years old. I'm the youngest in my family. Traveling on the Oregon Trail was really fun but also very challenging. I remember the start of the trail clearly. Let me tell you about some of the first few landmarks we've been through. The first landmark was Blue Mountain. The captain and the other paws climbed the nearest hill here to see our first view of the Great Plains. It was amazing and seemed to go on forever. The next landmark was Alcove Springs. This was a very beautiful place. We got to drink a lot of cold, refreshing water here. After that, I remember we passed Courthouse Rock and Jail Rock. It was a really cool place. After that, we went to Chimney Rock. Chimney Rock was really tall. We got to camp overnight there. We passed a lot of landmarks on this journey, and we were happy. We were always happy to see them because it meant we were headed in the right direction. Hi, my name is Lucy Clark, and I'm the mom. Besides taking care of the children, it was my job to pack up all the belongings for our journey. I packed all the food, clothes, utensils, cooking supplies, bedding, and the first aid kit. Some of the important food we took with us was flour, lard, hardtack bacon, rice, coffee, tea, sugar, dried beans, dried foods, salt, cornmeal, and vinegar. Just those items totaled 1,802 pounds. That's a lot! We had to be careful not to take too much, or it would be too hard to pull the wagon. But even with all the supplies, we still had room for our tools, our shotgun, and bullets, and lamps. We even had room for some special keepsakes. My favorite headboard, a spare wheel, and some chicken. After everything was packed, it weighed about 2,491 pounds. The special item I took with us was a rose quartz that my grandmother gave me. Caroline's special item was a necklace that I gave her, and the boys' book chose a special book. Taking care of a family on the trail was hard, but luckily I had older children who can help me. One of my favorite things to cook on the trail was cornbread. Hi, my name is Henry Clark, and I'm the older child in the family. During this trip, we've been through a lot of tough times. Once when we were crossing Snake River, we lost all of our oxen. They did not make it across. Luckily, Pa and I, with the help of some other men, were able to get the wagon out of the river. But we had to trade some of our supplies with the Johnson family to get new oxen so we could continue on our journey. We traded 210 pounds of food and our sewing kit, which they needed, and they gave us 2 of their extra oxen. It was a good trade for both of us. After that, I was happy that Pa decided to take Bonneville Road route to Oregon City instead of that scary Columbia River route. I'm happy to say that everyone made it safely. The best thing about this trip was getting to Oregon.
Thank you, Carson. These are their words taken from their journal.
Pa's name is Jonathan. He is 34 years old. Pa is a blacksmith. This was handy on the trail because he could fix things on the trail. We decided to go to Oregon because we heard we could get good free land there. On the Oregon Trail, being a mom was hard work. The most important things I had to do were cooking, organizing, and packing up the wagon. Also, it was very dusty on the trail. It made it hard to clean.
Hi, my name is Morgan Owens. I'm 11 years old. We passed a lot of landmarks on our journey, like Scotts Bluff, Fort Laramie, Register Cliff, and Independence Rock. We got to sign our names on Register Cliff like a lot of pioneers before us, but my favorite memory was when we celebrated the 4th of July on the trail at Independence Rock. We had so much fun dancing and eating food. We even ate chocolate. The apple pie was so good, and we had lemonade and beef jerky. It was a real celebration. We square danced and it seemed like we danced forever. Did I mention that the chocolate was so good? I was sad that we wouldn't get to eat the chocolate again on the trail. I still crave the jerky from that day. The food was so good.
Hi, I'm Emma Owens. The children had a lot of chores on the trail. My chores as a child were collecting buffalo chips, milking cows, making soap and candles, helping Mom with the cooking, washing dishes, fetching water, and more. And since I'm one of the older children on the trail, I was able to help Ma out a lot. Morgan and I would usually sleep under the wagon. Since Morgan is 11 and I'm 13, we're both young adults. We didn't bring tons of things with us either, as we knew we would be busy helping with the chores. My favorite memory was also the 4th of July. We had apple pie and lemonade with friends. It was a lot of fun.
Howdy, my name is Jonathan Owens and I'm the Pa of the Owens family. We went to Oregon to get free land. We had lots of problems on the trail. One example of these problems was the time our wagon rolled over a rock and the rock made a hole in the wagon. Before we could repair it, the water came into the wagon and ruined some of our things. There was also the time our wagon wheel broke. Luckily, I was able to fix it. This because I'm a blacksmith. The Oregon Trail was not easy, but we kept going. When we were almost to Oregon, we decided to take a risk and cross the Columbia River to get to Oregon City. We crossed the river safely, and after a long trip, we made it to Oregon.
Walker family, can you continue the journey?
My name is Franklin Walker. I am 31 years old. My wife is Vanessa and my children are Benjamin and Florence Walker. Benjamin is 4 years old and Florence is 10 years old. I am a doctor. I had this job in Independence, Missouri, but we wanted to go to Oregon because we wanted to find better land. And I knew they would need doctors in Oregon too. When I was selected second captain, I got to help everyone out and give our captain a break. One of the scariest times for our family on this trip was when we were at the Snake River crossing. Florence thought she was old enough to be out of the wagon, and she climbed down. She tried to hold Ma's hand, but the current was so strong that she washed down the river. The captain and Lewis ran down along the river as fast as they could. Thankfully, they found her, and they were able to bring her back. I think that was the scariest thing of all that happened on this trip.
My name is Vanessa. I am the Ma of the Walker family. Since I'm the Ma, I have to cook for the family. On holidays such as 4th of July, the other Ma's and I work together to make yummy stuff such as apple pie and cornbread. I also made a lot of beans and hardtack, which we ate all on the time on the Oregon Trail. My youngest child is Benjamin. He is 4 years old. Florence and Benjamin had fights all the time. I had to take care of them and cook for the family too. Taking care of young children on the trail was hard, especially Benjamin, who was only 4 and couldn't swim. It was hot and bumpy for the children riding in the wagon, and Pa kept losing his hat. We had some nice times too, though. At Soda Springs, the water was naturally carbonated water, and the Mazen made fruit juice to make flavored soda. At Hooper Springs, when we had our first warm bath in months, it felt really good. I am also happy that my special item, my white calico dress with pink tulips on it, made it safely to Oregon.
My name is Florence. I am the fifth child of the Walker family. When I was at Snake River, I came out of the wagon and I was holding on to Ma's hand. Then all of a sudden, I washed away in the river. The captain of Mr. Carson saved me, so I was really relieved. That was the scariest time of my life. But we had fun on the trail too. We made these things called whizzes. We made them with string and button. We would get them spinning and they would make this neat whizzing sound. We also got to play games like drop the handkerchief and hunt the thimble when we had time, usually when we stopped at one of the forts. I was happy though at the end of the journey when Pa decided to take Bardo Road into Oregon City instead of another scary river crossing.
My name is Benjamin Walker, and I am 4 years old. My favorite thing to do on the trail was playing with the whizzers. They were really fun. You had to swing it in a circle about 30 times maybe, then you would pull every once in a while until it got moving really fast and made a buzzing sound. It was fun, but it would pinch your fingers after a while. We also played another game called Blind Man's Bluff. It was really hard for me to play, which makes sense because I'm only 4 years old. I had to put a handkerchief over my eyes so I couldn't see. Then my group would call out my name and I had to try and tag someone. At first I couldn't catch anyone. Then they would come super close to me and then back away like they were teasing me. But then Jasper went in front of me and stayed there until I caught him. That day was really fun. One of the bad things that happened to me on the trail was some of my books fell out of the wagon. Luckily, my precious whizzer was right in my pocket.
All right, Carson family.
Hello, my name is Louis Carson and I'm 25 years old. My husband is Louis Carson. He is 26 years old. We have only one child named Carrie Carson. She is only 5 years old. It was really hard on the Oregon Trail, especially with such a young child. My jobs were to cook, wash dishes, and take care of my family. It was hard to live in the wagon. It was really squishy with all of our things in it, and it was always dusty. I did my best though to keep it clean, especially since we all had to sleep in the wagon since Carrie is so young. I cooked a lot of beans on the journey. I like beans, so that was okay, but not the hard time. Even though it lasted a long time, it was too hard and it tripped my teeth.
Hello, my name is Carrie Carson, and I am only 5 years old. When we started traveling, the weather was pretty hot, dry, and dusty. It was so hot that one day, I almost fainted. I couldn't take the heat. I was so tired of the heat. Every day, it was hot, hot, hot. I got really sick of this weather, but we were mostly scared of the end of the trail when we were close to Oregon. We were scared if we didn't get there in time, it was going to snow. So in my head, I was thinking about snow, snow, snow. When we were at Steamboat Springs, we got to throw our bonnets and hats. We were trying to get them on top of the geyser. I was not able to throw my bonnet onto the top, but one boy named Henry Clark threw his hat right onto the very top. At Fort Hall and Fort Laramie, we got to trade with a lot of Indians. It was cool trading with them. Last of all, the game I loved the most was hoop and stick. I love using the stick and moving the hoop with the stick. Hoop and stick is a really great game.
My name is Louis Carson, the pa of the family. I'm a banker by trade, and we are moving to Oregon, where I am going to set up a new business. I want to tell you about some of the hardships we encountered on our journey. One time our canvas ripped because of a big windstorm, and we had to repair it. Also early, we found that our wagon was so heavy that we need to dump some of our supplies. That was a sad day. We made it safely though. After Dallas, we decided we should take the safer and easier Barlow Road route, even if it cost us some extra money to pass it. It wasn't all easy though. We had to get through Laurel Hill, and it was really steep, and there were lots of huge rocks and tall trees there. It was so steep we had to put a log through the wheels to keep them from turning the entire wagon to a tree at the top of the hill to get it down safely. It was quite an adventure.
And finally, the Johnson family. And while they're coming up, one disclaimer: we do know Indians and Native Americans, but since the year is 1850, we were not aware of the Native American term at this point.
Howdy, my name is Caleb Johnson. I'm 40 years old. My wife's name is Abigail Johnson, and we have a son named Jasper. He's only 6 years old. We are a very hard-working farming family. When we heard about the Oregon Trail, we were very interested. We heard that there were many good things about Oregon. The rivers were filled with fish, most of the land was free, and the land was very fine. So off we went. It wasn't all easy though. When we got to the Snake River crossing, we had goosebumps. When we were going across, our canvas ripped. Then there was something really bad that happened. Most of our supplies floated away, but thankfully we made it across safely. We were sure worried about our supplies, but because of the Clark family lost all their oxen during the crossing, we traded with them. They gave us 210 pounds of food, a sewing kit, and a cooking pan. We gave them 2 of our oxen. It took some negotiating, but we worked it out. As you can see, it all went well when we made it to Oregon.
Hi, my name is Jasper Johnson, and I am one of the younger ones on the trail. I always saw Pa go out to hunt, and I wanted to go with him, but Mom said I was too young. I like to spend more time with Mom because I helped her do dishes and cooking. Near the end of the trail, I was happy to see the Blue Mountains because that meant we were almost there. When we got to the jails, we took Barlow Road, not the Columbia River, but I wanted to take the Columbia River. It was a little funny to see all the excitement when we got to Oregon City. When we all threw our hats in the air, Benjamin Walker, who was close to my age, got his hat stuck in the tree. After, I got to play with my toy and my special item, which was a stuffed animal. I'm so happy we got to Oregon.
Howdy, my name is Abigail Johnson. I am the mom of the family and I'm 32 years old. We saw a lot of new places on our Oregon Trail journey. One I will never forget was the Snake River crossing. We were glad to be there, but I was really nervous when we crossed there. After that, we got to Farewell Bend. That was the last time we saw the river. We said goodbye to the plains and headed to the mountains. The next place we went was to Immigrant Springs. It was much cooler there, and there were pine trees everywhere. When we reached the Dales, we had to make a decision about going through Barlow Road or raft down the Columbia River to get to Oregon City. Barlow Road costed money, but it was much safer, so we went down Barlow Road. I'm so happy we finally made it to Oregon. I'm excited to build our new home. I was sad to say goodbye to our friends, but we decided to live close to the Carson family. They helped us a lot during the trail, and we are going to help them by building their new home. The Oregon Trail was long and hard. It took us 6 months, or 176 days to be exact. It was boring sometimes and scary at other times, but I'm glad we're here.
Howdy, partner. Josie Joe, your corner. Allemande left to corner. Come back to your partner with the right left grand. Spin your partner and promenade home. And couples, right left through. Side couples, right left through. And couples, right left through. And side couples, right left through. Allemande left to corner. Back to your partner with the right left grand. Give your partner a spin and promenade home. Square up, Allemande left to corner. Back to your partner with a do-si-do. Boys, star left, one time round. Pick up your partner and go back home. All join hands and circle to the left, one time round. Up to the center with the big yeehaw. Yeehaw! All back out. Down to your partner. Down to your corner. And up to the center with the big thank you.
Thank you!
Down to your partner. Down to your corner. Josie, to your partner. Josie, to your corner. Please don't think. Now swing your partner round and round. Now all join hands and circle to the left, one time round. Now circle to the right, one time round. And square up. Allemande left to corner. And back to your partner with the right left hand. Spin your partner and promenade home. All join hands and up to the center with a big howdy.
Howdy!
And back on out. And couples up to the center and back. Side couples up to the center and back. Head couples right pass through. Side couples right pass through. Head couples right pass through again. Side couples right pass through again. Now swing your partners round and round. And all join hands and up to the center with a big yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
Back on out. Josie, to your corner. Josie, to your partner. Allemande left to corner. Come back to your partner with the right left grand. Spin your partner and promenade home. Girls, up to the center with the star to the left. And come back out. Boys, up to the center with the star to the left. Pick up your partner and head on home. Square up. Down to your corner. Down to your partner. All join